started going to the career path in corporate world and whatever, into marketing and all those things. And the career has really given me a lot, as far as stability and great connections and all those things too. But now it's getting to a point where it's like, how much longer am I going to keep lying to myself? Like how much longer am I going to keep doing this because this has now become comfortable?
Welcome back to the proper view. I'm going to start over because you could keep it rolling. We'll keep this. I think.
Wondering do you want to just look? Because this is your close up.
Oh, that's my close up.
To everybody.
I'll look to everybody from which my help comes from.
Here, it depends on you. I don't know. I know T said that he wasn't gonna use his camera as much, but
yeah,
you want to stay here.
That's
close up.
Yeah, because the first segment is about the Bible story, and then we introduce Shabana.
Yeah, then you can just cut to the wide.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. I hope we keep all of that. Terrell, please keep all of this. Because people need to see that I said I'm a girl rediscovering Jesus. Okay, so we is in process. Amen. So what's up, everybody? For those that are new, my name is Britny Horton, and this is The Proper View, a podcast that is about reestablishing the proper view of life situations and circumstances so that we can heal our hearts, renew our minds. I just came up with that, and I hope I remember it for every single episode. So welcome. I'm so excited about this episode. I have a dear friend, a mentor, a guiding light, Shabana, with me today. Shabana Syed.
Gosh,
am I saying your last? Okay, this is embarrassing. Am I saying your last name right?
Syed.
Syed.
Yeah.
Do you know for all these years I've called you Syed?
It's okay. I think a lot of people pronounce it that way, and I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, it's cool, whatever.
No, that's not cool. Your name? Syed.
Syed, yeah.
Shabana Syed.
Thanks. See, look, you say it so elegantly.
Because
hey, girl,
that name is sexy. It's as sexy as you. Shabana, it fits. Oh, that's so good.
I'm never going to leave this couch now, Brittany. Dude, just keep coming. I'm here to stay.
I love it.
Yes.
So, everybody, today we will talk about some heavier topics. We're going to explore grief. We're going to explore seclusion, and we're going to explore isolation. It's an episode that you don't want to miss. I'm so excited about it. And for those of you that are new, we start every episode with a Bible story, right? Because the proper view is about taking the word and humanizing it and then applying it to our lives. And so, y'all know I can't live without my notes. Can't see my notes without my glasses. So here we go. Andre, is this okay? Okay. So our first Bible moment today comes out of Matthew 14:1-23, and I'm gonna talk y'all through this very Britney style because I think it's important for us to humanize it, right? Like we gotta talk about who these people were and what was happening in a way that feels digestible, and don't get afraid. I'm not gonna go through and read 23 verses. So I'll just talk you through what happens in these verses. So a little bit of backstory is the ruler of Galilee at this time was a person by the name of Herod Antipas. Antipas. Okay? Herod Antipas was the ruler at this time. And if you tie it back to what the laws were within that time frame, the laws that were established through like the years of Moses, right? There were certain laws around who you can marry, when you could marry them, and why you could marry them, especially if they were married to a sibling. And so the ruler of Galilee wanted to marry and did marry his brother's former wife. Now, it doesn't really talk about how that wife became the former. It doesn't talk about like if the brother's dead or if the brother divorced the wife. It doesn't say that. It just says that Herod married his brother's wife, and John the Baptist was upset about that. John the Baptist told him, like, you're wrong. You are wrong for marrying your brother's wife. Well, the brother's wife, Herodias, I guess that's how you say it, is Herod Ias, right? She was like, wait, hold on. You gonna talk against my marriage? Off with his head, right? She's like, husband, he got to go. Well, husband, Herod is like, I can't do that. These people love John the Baptist. If I do that, they say he's a prophet. If I go off with his head, there's going to be a riot. Like, I cannot kill John the Baptist. So she seems to like let it go for a little bit. But then there's a birthday party. It's Herod's birthday. And his stepdaughter does a dance at his birthday that he just falls in love with. He's like, this is the best dance ever. Like, girl, you did that. And because you did that, whatever you want, you'll get it. Well, his wife heard that. And she said, come here, little girl. This is what I need you to do. I need you to tell him that what you want is for him to behead John the Baptist. So then the stepdaughter goes to Herod, and says, what I want is for you to cut off John the Baptist's head. He said, so Herod goes, wait, you sure? There's nothing else can we talk about it? Like first, like there's not, she's like, no, I want you to kill John the Baptist. Everybody heard him make that promise to her, so he has to do it. John the Baptist is subsequently murdered. That news gets to Jesus, and Jesus is heartbroken. We know that John the Baptist is Jesus' cousin by blood, but also he was the prophet that came to prepare the way for the Messiah. So there's not only a blood relation, a heart relation, there's a spiritual relationship here. Jesus finds out and he is heartbroken. He is so heartbroken that he decides that he is going to go to a separate place, assuming to grieve. It doesn't say that, but he's going to go to a separate place. The crowd follows Jesus. And instead of Jesus saying, hey, I need a minute, Jesus decides to serve. And that is when we get the miracle of the fish and the loaves of bread, the feeding of the 5,000. And that story was so powerful for me, not because I think that there's a way to talk about this, right? Where it's like we could talk about servitude and how being a servant is a way to deal with grief. That is an aspect to it. But what really struck me was how Jesus went or attempted to go into seclusion. And it taught me the difference between seclusion and isolation. Isolation, as we know, it's where the devil can kind of get a little busy, right? Because you block everything out, you block everybody else out. But what we see Jesus do here is so gorgeous. Because in order for the crowd to follow him, they had to know where he was going. He had to make it known that he was going somewhere. He was going from one place to another place. You can't follow somebody that's standing still. So there has to be movement there. Jesus made it known that he was going to another place, which taught me that in seasons, because I think that not only do I think it's biblical, that taking seasons away from the noise is necessary. But Jesus also taught me that there's a way to do that. You have to be in community, and there has to be awareness about where you're going so that when you get there, you're covered and you're not alone. Right? Seclusion with God and with community is healing. Isolation without God and without healing is harmful. And the reason why I think it's important for us to put that in the proper view is that sometimes we take the hits. I just did that, Devin. I knocked that thing so hard. Sometimes we take the hits. Sometimes life comes at us and it comes at us fast and it comes at us hard. I talked to y'all about when my dad and my brother died 3 weeks apart. Getting one phone call, then the next phone call. I hadn't even buried my daddy. Then I had to go figure out how to bury my brother. What? Life comes at you so hard. And what I did in that season is I isolated myself. And when I isolated myself, I was like, I opened the door to all of these different vices to heal the pain. Right? But most recently, this is going to be the first time our crew hears this. Shabana's aware. But most recently, I went through a domestically violent relationship. Marriage. And it was hard. It was very hard to deal with. And instead of me isolating, I let the community around me know what was happening. And what it taught me was exactly what we see here. That if I seclude with community awareness, I am safe. There's space for healing, and there's opportunity for shame to not take root. But imagine if I would have isolated. One, I would probably still be in my relationship because I would have gotten a dependency on that. Life is going to happen to us. We're going to get hurt. Trauma is going to tell you to retreat. But just like Jesus, if you need to take a moment, know that, first of all, it's okay to take a moment. But let the community know where you are. Because by the community letting you know by you letting the community know where you are, you can start the path to one of the greatest miracles of your life. Just like Jesus did. Because the community knew where he was, it put him in a position to feed the 5,000 men and then the women and the children with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. Do not miss your 2 fish and your 5 loaves because it hurts. You deserve the harvest of what it means to feed the magnitudes. I know it hurts, but your community and now us, we got you. We got you. And us having you leads me into my conversation. I can take these off now, y'all. Comedic relief. It leads me into our conversation with Shabana. Shabana is incredible.
Oh.
Okay? Shabana is an actor. She's a writer. She has a book, a journal. What's the name of your journal? It's about
Remember Myself Always, which is perfect for this.
Remember Myself Always. And she also has a very funny series. Well, it's not, I guess it's funny now. It's funny now because you're on the other side of those experiences.
Yeah.
But she's like, what are you about to say?
I know. What are you about to say, Britny? Like,
She has a very funny series on TikTok about her dating experiences. I know. Her dating experiences here in LA. Is it specific to LA?
it's specific to LA, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why it's so crazy.
Yeah.
I love LA. I'm not an LA hater. I love everything about LA. I'm probably here to stay. But
The dating is it's a wild game we play with ourselves.
it's a wild game we play. Now, for the people, before we get into all the heavy stuff, what is the craziest? Look, I had to get comfortable. Okay, what's the craziest story?
Oh my gosh, the craziest story. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think now. Like, what is the most crazy story? One of them, I hadn't lived in LA yet, but I was staying with a friend, and I was trying Shadi.com, which is the Indian dating matchmaker service, which I do not recommend. I don't even know if it's still around.
Okay, but for Indian people.
Yeah, because like in my 20s, so I mean, let's keep it brief, but like I grew up in a very traditional Indian household and things like that, and I went against the grain for most of my life, and then in my 20s, they're like, well, when are you going to get married? When are you going to do all these things? I was like, well, let me do it my way. I'm not going to just do it the way that they want to do it, because arranged marriage was a thing. And so I got on Shadi.com. I was like, let me just give it a shot. Like, you know, this way I could just kind of check the box and see what it is. And so, yeah, actually there's a couple stories from this. Which one am I going to tell? Okay, so
Y'all
this one.
ready?
Yeah, so this one, again, it was in LA. And he was a doctor. And if you know anything about the Indian culture, it's like you want to marry an Indian doctor or engineer or lawyer. That was like, that's it. That's what you want. This guy lived in Redondo and, you know, was a successful, I can't remember what he was, like a cardiologist or something like that. And yeah, so I was like, all right, you know what, we'll do this. And I came to visit my friend in Playa. And so I was like, let me just set up a date or whatever. The dude was so weird and like kept checking his phone and was really awkward. And there was just a vibe where I'm like, I don't think we might be after the same thing, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh.
So I was just like, what's happening here?
Y'all both like the popsicle.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
yeah. And so he was extremely awkward on the date and was sweating profusely. And he was wearing all black. And like even his black clothes were like wet. And I'm like, dude, what is up? I can't be this like intimidating to you. Like, what is happening? So his boyfriend showed up.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even laugh at no one.
His boyfriend showed
like
up.
his boyfriend, like his friend
boy.
that's a boy?
Yeah.
Or his
yeah.
boyfriend?
I think his boyfriend. His boyfriend.
Ooh,
yeah, his boyfriend had followed him there because I guess he had made some excuse or whatever to get out of it or something like that. And so we're on like this date at this kebab house in Playa, and this dude rolls up, and I was like, oh shoot, what is gonna happen here? And like the blood drains to this guy's face, and he sees him, he's like, oh my god, and his boyfriend comes in and confronts him, man. And I was like, oh dang. And so literally it got to the point where because you know, I'm cool and whatever, and I'm like, this is not going to be anybody I'm ever talking to again. And I played off like, oh, we're just friends. We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Here. Never saw him again, of course.
No,
Never saw him again. But yeah, so that was one of the craziest Shali.com dating stories. But I feel for him because in the Indian culture, being gay and all those things is very looked down upon. It's not something that you can really explore and talk about in your family. So a lot of these guys, I feel like, and probably women too, enter these relationships very stuck and heartbroken and whatever because they're so dependent on their family's approval and reputation and all those things, and God forbid you do something to bring disgrace to the family. So it's like my heart really went out to him. So wherever he's at, I hope that he's living in his fullest expression of life, whatever that is, and I wish him well. But that was definitely one of the craziest ones. But to find out the rest of them, you have to go to TikTok, man.
Go to her TikTok. It's Shabana Syed.
It's styled by Shabs. Styled by Shabs.
Because that's another thing. She dresses down. Okay, she dresses. And you talked a lot about, God bless that man. But you talked a lot about what it means to be in family in your culture.
Yeah.
And this idea of like making the wrong move and being a disgrace. And then you talked about how you've kind of set your own path.
Absolutely.
Right? First of all, how did you set your own path? And then how did you deal with whatever the fallout would have been with your family?
Oh, that is a really good question. So to be completely honest, I betrayed myself to get my freedom.
Can you say it again? I'm so sorry.
Since my dad passed, there's been a lot of things. I betrayed myself to get my own freedom.
Wow.
And the reason why I say that is from a very young age, I always knew I wanted to be in film and I wanted to be an actor and all of those things. Again, that career in my culture, no way. You have to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. But as a woman, I'm supposed to marry a doctor, lawyer, engineer. Not supposed to be one. You can't be one. Yeah, I mean, now it's different, but like, yeah, at the time it's like, oh, you can be if your husband's family approves it. So there was like, so basically growing up, and it's changed. I know it's not, for every Indian family out there, but when I was growing up, it's like your family is raising you to be somebody's wife. Like you aren't raised with your own individuality, and like there is no talk to encourage what do you want to be when you grow up and all those things like that. So I have an older sister, and when I was in kindergarten, she got arranged and got married to her husband, who they're still married. He's an awesome dude. She really is blessed and has a bunch of kids and stuff. But as a 5-year-old, I didn't have the vocabulary. I didn't understand what was going on. I was like, my sister's getting married, and their in-laws showed up to the house, and it was a very traumatizing experience for me because my brother-in-law's niece came in and started calling my sister mommy, and I actually decked her. Because I was like,
wait, what decked me?
I punched her.
You punched her, baby?
I was a very I was a wild, rambunctious little kid. I was like, she ain't your mommy. And I punched her. And I got into a lot of trouble. And I was just like, screw this. But then as I entered that age, because she got married right after she graduated from high school.
Wow.
Like she graduated in
She's a baby.
88. And so that was like in June. And she was married by August. And it was an arranged marriage.
Oh, that sounds like my marriage.
Yeah, it
wasn't arranged.
Wild. Yeah, so it was pretty crazy.
Wow.
And so when I got to that age, of course my parents started preparing the same way, and I was like, "Oh, hell no, dude. I want to be an actor. I want to be in film. I want to do all these things. Like I'm not going to do this." And like it was men coming from India who were doctors and things, and I would be like that what is it? The fiance visa and stuff to bring them over. And it's just like, yeah, so I was like, this is not my path. Like, I just knew it viscerally in my gut. Like, this is not my path.
Yeah.
Cannot go this way. And so what I did is, as much as I wanted to just like jump into acting and film and all those things, I'm like, I have to prove that I could stand on my own. So I went to school and did business school and whatever. And then I went to UCSB and did film studies, and I loved it. But then when I graduated, it was like, I can't go to LA and be a broke artist. There's no way. Like
Never in many years. No.
Yeah, I was like, there's absolutely no way. Because then that they were like, see, we were right. You should have gotten married. Like, you can't stand on your own type of thing. So started going to the career path in corporate world and whatever, into marketing and all those things. And the career has really given me a lot, as far as stability and great connections and all those things too. But now it's getting to a point where it's like, how much longer am I going to keep lying to myself? Like, how much longer am I going to keep doing this because this has now become comfortable? And it's like the definition of stability that I have now, right? And so since my dad passed, which was 7 months ago, and this week was his birthday, it's really put like a fire under me, like, oh, you better start figuring out what you really want and put the seeds in the ground to make it happen, because you don't understand how short this life is and how fragile this life is until you put a parent in the ground, or in your case, a parent and a brother. When you see that body go into the dirt with nothing, it makes you question every single thing you've done in your life. And again, it's like, I don't regret what I've done so far, but it's like, going forward, now it's on me.
Yeah.
Because I've already proved myself. No one's questioning it. I'm, in my 40s now. It's so, no one's like, oh, is she going to make it or is she not? Now it's me asking myself, like, do you trust yourself enough to go make it happen? Why are you scared when other people are dreaming bigger for you than you yourself? And my dad always looked at his kids, and he had big dreams for us. And one thing he'd always say to me, he's like, why are you still working for somebody? Like, why are you making somebody else rich? Like, what is this? He's like, I know you're smarter than this type of thing. And at the time, I didn't really understand what that meant. I'm just like, oh, God, he's just being hard on me or whatever the hell. Because my dad, unlike my mom, he saw that, like, oh yeah, this girl is not like my other daughters. Like, she's gonna be different. And he actually held the space for me to go and do it. So like when I got to UCSB, he was like, you better take this and run and go and like get out of here. So it was really great to have it. So as my dad passed away, I'm like, oh damn, Dad really had massive dreams for me that I'm not allowing myself to have for myself. And so now it's really at that pivotal moment in my life where, what do I do to get on the path that I was destined for, that I took myself off of to prove myself to other people instead of myself?
That's it.
So that's where we're at.
How do you, when you say that my dad had dreams for me that I'm not allowing myself to live, what does that bring up for you?
Oh, a lot. It's it's like knowing that my dad won't see my future accomplishments when that's all he ever wanted for us is a really hard pill to swallow. So there's a lot of regret and like almost not like an anger, but like almost like a sadness. But then whenever I feel those sadness, I kind of hear my dad like, you're still young, go freaking do it. Like, thank God you got the stability and the solid foundation that you're on. There's nothing stopping you. Whereas like when I was a kid and I jumped to California, whatever, it's like I had $1,000 or something in my pocket, and I was like,
you pay more than me.
yeah, like it's like, So yeah, I was like, all right, let me just come make it happen, you know. And it's like now I'm in a different position. It's like I was way braver at that time, but I also was like, yeah, and then I am now. But I think the reason why is because now I'm comfortable. There, I was on shaky ground. I was like, if I don't bust a move, they're gonna dictate what my life looks like, and I can't have that. And now it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm living good and like all these things. So it's like almost like there's a silver lining in each side of it. And now it's like trying to figure out how to get back to that urgency of being uncomfortable and being okay with uncomfortable, to take bigger risks. So a lot of emotions that kind of feel like a whirlwind, but also going back to like what you're saying about isolation and seclusion. One thing that my dad's death really did for me was it put me in seclusion with God, hardcore. Because I know in my religion, so I'm Muslim, my religion is, and I think all religions are like this, so I have to pray for my dad through God so I can elevate him on that side and give him strength to pray for me on this side. And the only way to do that is to get right with God and understand God and like realize like, oh God, okay, this life is so temporary and I'm a vessel for God and I need to get right with him. So God gave me the freedom to like, okay, go prove yourself, do your thing, but remember, I have a mission for you and you better figure it out and get back on track.
I'm going to ask you a hard question.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Take us back to the day you got the phone call. What was that like?
It was, so backing up a little bit before there, so I was about to start a new job actually. So on that Wednesday, I found out like, oh, you got a new job. Like I got the offer. Wednesday, I also got a call, and this was the 23rd of October, and my brother's wife calls and says, "Hey, your dad's got pneumonia," and so me and my siblings were like, "Okay," and something in my gut just knew. I was like, something's not sitting right with this one. And then on Thursday, like we called, my dad was doing activities and stuff. I'm like, what the hell is he doing activities for? He's like, and he was in like this, which there's a lot of regret with this, but he was in a long-term care facility because he fell and like hurt his hip. We wanted him to get better so we can bring him home, but he hadn't done that. So anyways, they would have activities and things. And so we called and asked to talk to dad, and they're like, oh, he's like in an exercising class or whatever. And I'm like, he's got pneumonia. What the hell? And so what happens is
Isn't pneumonia contagious?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so on Friday, what happens is I see a FaceTime happening on my phone. I'm like, I already know what this is going to be. And literally pick up the FaceTime. Because, like, that's what my family would do. We would go on, like, the Facebook FaceTime type of thing. And, like, we could all see each other because we don't live in the same state. All of us are everywhere. And my sister-in-law's on the screen. I'm like, I already know what this is going to be. And she was like, hey, guys, your dad has passed away. And she turns the camera on, and like there's my dad on the bed, and I'm just like, total shock, not realizing what had happened. I think at that point it was like, all right, I gotta get to Colorado. I gotta figure this out. We gotta call the mosque. We gotta do all these things because in our religion you're supposed to bury the person within 24 hours of them passing. In the U.S., I think now it's like 48 because you have to get like the death certificate and all that stuff like that. So it just became survival mode and not really accepting the fact that he was gone. Like, I think it was just like subconsciously, it just hadn't accepted it. And like consciously, it's like, we just got to get this done.
Yeah.
So literally, like family from all corners, my brother's in Colorado, but like me and my siblings all jumped on planes and flew out to Colorado. And we got there, and it was really wild. So in my religion, the body is cleaned. You have to clean the body, like bathe it. So like my brother and his sons, and then my sister's son and her husband went and like washed my dad's body and cleaned it. And then you wrap the body in a white cloth. And that's what goes in the ground. Like there's no casket, there's no nothing.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so like so after they did that, they wrapped my dad. Oh shoot,
It's okay. You got it.
yeah, I got it. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so like they wrapped my dad up, and they had like a wooden box because you can't just like carry the body in like the white. So we come down where they had just washed him in the mosque, and it was just crazy to like see my dad there, because that's like my dad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like you start to disassociate what's happening, and you can't really put into words, and it's just like you're in a dream state. Mm-hmm. But I think what the worst of it was, my nephew has a little boy, and he's only 5 years old, and so you know he would always call like my dad Abu, and then would call my brother Big Abu, because my brother was like a bodybuilder and stuff like that. And so like, you know, he was at the funeral, and so
Our brother fine, y'all.
thanks. And so like I pick up my little nephew and I show him his Abu, and he starts whispering. He's like, "Is Abu sleeping?" And I'm like, "No, baby's not sleeping. Like, he's gone to heaven." And he's just kind of staring at him. And he's like, "I want to wake up Abu." And he kept saying that over and over again. It was so sad. And so, you know, after we see our dad, like we have specific prayer times. And so the blessing was my dad actually passed away on Jummah, which is Friday. That's like our holy day of prayer. So he passed away on that Friday. So we buried him on Sunday. But there's a specific time that the prayer has to be done. So we saw him, and they're like, "All right, we got to get into prayer." And so everybody showed up, and it was really beautiful because, like, you know, grew up in Colorado, but then my family left besides my brother. But the community still remembered my dad. And so a lot of them showed up to the funeral and did the prayers and things. And so when that was happening, we'd go upstairs, and I didn't see this, but my little nephew, it started to hit him. And he was like, "I need to wake up Abu," and he got really upset. And he was like, "I don't want to leave Abu there." And was crying and like started hitting him. And then when we went to the actual cemetery and like buried my dad, that's when we took him out of like the wood box, and then just in the white cloth, they put him into the ground. And it was so surreal. Like my brother-in-law and my nephew got into the grave to like pull my dad down into the grave, and just kind of watching this, and it's like an out-of-body experience that's happening. And so when that happened, the little one, which again, God works in mysterious ways, right? Like everything happens for a reason. Like you see like the oldest to the youngest, and I just kind of like focused on how he was processing everything. And like he was very stoic and like kind of studying everybody, and he was standing next to the grave, and he kind of saw it going in. He was asking my older nephew like, "What is heaven? Abu went to heaven. What does that mean?" And all these things, and was asking all these inquisitive questions. But whenever he was quiet. Like he didn't make any sounds. And so there's also a ritual where all the men, they throw dirt in 3 times to just help like the soul know like you gotta go. The little one went after everybody. He picked up all the dirt, and he's like throwing it, and he's like, "Okay, Abu, you can go to heaven," and is like waving in the grave. And I was like, dang. Okay. And I knew that my dad was like smiling at that, you know?
Yeah.
But in our religion also, we believe that like they don't know they're gone until they're the last one standing at the grave, when everybody's gone. But what was interesting is another woman had passed away and her grave was right next to my dad's, and so all of her people were there. And that's the thing in Islam, it's like you want more people there to pray for you while you're making the transition. And the imam, I don't know what language he was speaking, but when he started speaking from that mosque, like everybody got emotional, even us, because he'll pray for both. And so when that was happening, they put all the dirt in. It was dead silent, because like the cemetery is in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing, and it was just like no wind, no nothing. And as soon as he started praying, as the dirt was poured on both the graves, there was this wind that just came in. That was just like, it didn't even move the dirt around any of us. And it was like a strong wind. I'm like looking at my sister.
Mighty Russian wind.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Come on, Baptist.
Exactly. And like, I just looked at my sister, and I'm like, the souls are leaving.
Wow.
Like, they're going, they're free. So it was really wild. And I don't think I really cried that much for a while, because again, I didn't believe it. Even though it's like I went through all the motion of burying dad and all those things like that. There were moments where it's like, yeah, you kind of cry a little or whatever, but it's like, dad's going to call me, you know?
Yeah.
It's still expecting that you're going to get that phone call. And so only recently I like started going back to my acupuncture, and she's like this intuitive reader and things like that. And then she gave me like a message and like helped me like release things. And that's when it really hit me. And this was recent. This was like 3 weeks ago. where I was like, oh damn, Dad's gone. Dad's really gone. And he's still scolding me from the other side. Like, because the message she gave me,
He's still my daddy.
he's still my dad. Like, she gave me a message, and I was like, yeah, it's my dad. Like, the way she even said it, I was like, wow. And so her actually kind of channeling that, I was like, holy crap, no, he's gone. He's on the other side. And then I think that was the moment when I really, really grieved. I didn't, like, really cry before that. And then at that point, it was like that guttural one where it's like, there's never going to be a phone call. I'm never going to see my dad again. Not in this life, you know? And that also continues to move me closer to God, because it's like the only way to keep my dad's memory alive is through my prayer and connection to God.
Yeah.
Because all roads are going to lead back to God no matter what.
All roads.
Yeah. And it became really clear to me that in life, we're creating a path towards death. You know, we're all going to die. We're all dying. The path you're creating here, what are you doing with it? You know, and that's where a lot of my questioning is coming from right now. It's like, are you going to spend the 9 to 5s making somebody else rich? Or are you going to, like, use your days to figure out how to make yourself rich while lifting other people up? Because God didn't put you here to walk by yourself. You have to walk on a path that not only helps you, but also raises everybody around you.
Yeah.
And, like, that's one of the reasons why I even made that journal, too, is, like, even though it's, like, who knows how many women it reaches, I know the women that it does reach, it's helping them.
Yeah.
Or, like, even when I post, like, you know, inspirational videos on my social media, it's, like, maybe get, like, 500 views or whatever. But those 500 views mean something to somebody.
Yeah.
And, like, taking those paths and, like, not getting caught up in the vanity metrics of it. And making sure that you just continue to be a clear vessel for God.
Yeah. Jesus will leave the 99 to get to the one. Jesus will leave the 99 to get to the one.
Exactly.
I want to talk about, can I give an observation?
Yes.
I think this is the first time that I'm, like, looking at you and I'm like, she got her walls up.
Oh, yeah.
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 You're very strong.
Oh, yeah.
And you know me, so you know me too, right? Like,
Yeah.
I can go either way. I could go very executive Horton, strong, or I could go very goofy girl. But they're both masks.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I think you just, again, it's like, it goes back to that survival mode.
Yeah.
You know? It's just because that's, like, that's my normal. And that's, like, what we're trying to, like, rewrite. So, basically, my entire, as, you know, going back to my story, I really had to step into a masculine energy.
Yeah.
That hustle, that grind, that chase. There's a reason why nature, women don't chase. Like, they're like, entertain me and show me that you're worthy of me type of thing. But a lot of, like, society now, women have taken that role to be able to stand on their own and to build the life of stability and all those things for themselves, because, like, we know that you can't always depend on somebody.
Yeah.
So when that becomes, like, your normal, it's very hard to, like, rewrite it.
Yeah.
And it's like stepping into, like, okay, how do I actually look at my feminine energy in a way that is of strength? Because, like, for so long, I'm like, I can't be feminine, because if I'm feminine, that gets me stuck in an arranged marriage that I don't want to be in, you know? So it's like, I got to become, like, the powerful one.
Yeah. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So it's like, it's my norm. And now I'm at a point, too, where it's like, for me to pivot in my life and go after what I want, creativity is a feminine energy.
It is.
Whether they want to admit it or not, creativity, imagination, that's from the feminine energy.
Yeah.
You know? And for me to really excel in that and to, like, connect with it again, it's like, embracing it.
And I think a place we see, like, just how intimate it is when God was creating Adam. He breathed. In order to be so close to something that you can transfer breath into them, there's a level of closeness and intimacy and nurturing and care that comes from that we see in women.
Absolutely.
We carry that energy.
Yeah.
So this masculine energy, this toughness, this grit, this grind, how do you reconcile that version of you with the little girl who just misses her daddy?
Ooh, that's a hell of a question right there, Brit. Yeah, I don't know if I've even, like, really thought about that. Yeah, I think You know, what's so funny is a message that came from my dad, and I'll share it. It was just like, you were too tough on yourself, and you need to ask for help.
Yeah.
And that two things that I am not, and that came from the grave, you know? And it's like, all right, okay, Dad, I hear you, you know? And it's like, all right, and I'm in a position now where I'm like, I guess this is a point where I need to ask for help, you know, with my own stuff. And because like the anxiety this week, and I think it was just from my dad's birthday, but also coming to the realization that he's gone. The anxiety has been on a level that I've never experienced in my entire life.
Wow.
Like to the point where it's like, it's manifesting in ways where I'm like, holy shit. Sorry.
She can
Holy
say
shit.
that.
Okay. Like,
She can say that.
I'm trying my best not to curse. She knows I curse a lot.
Y'all know that y'all just got delivered from cussing yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
She
so,
can say that.
Yeah, so again, this goes back to the seclusion thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like coming to God and being like, you know what, Allah, I can't do this without you.
No.
Like,
yeah.
I can't, you put so much strength in me, but I need you to help me direct that strength towards becoming the most powerful version of my femininity that I've been away from for so long.
Yeah, that's good.
Because it's like I've always been in competition with everybody. I'm like, oh, even in my relationships, it's like, oh,
I'm guilty.
I have to earn my keep in this relationship. But a good man will never make you earn your keep. He chooses you.
He wouldn't even want you to.
He wouldn't want you to.
Yeah.
Like he
But
wants.
that's another.
Yeah,
That's another conversation.
We're gonna have to do a part 2 on that whole
Yeah.
situation. But yeah, it's so it's reconciling first and foremost with like there is a seed deep within me that needs to be nurtured, and that's a creativity story.
This is
It's
a
11
reminder.
o'clock.
And the Lord
Don't
said to
cut it.
Moses, I will do the very thing you have asked, because I am pleased with you.
And I know you by name. God knows you by name.
That's a sign.
That's
This
Alexa.
is a reminder.
Yeah.
And the
Lord said to Moses.
I will do the very thing you have asked.
She's gonna say it again.
This is a reminder.
She likes
And
to
the Lord
make her
said to
point
Moses, I will do the very thing you have
So-
asked, because I am pleased with you and I know you by name.
Thank you, girl. So that's Alexa.
I mean the timeliness.
The
of that.
timing, and I she gives me Bible verses every 2 hours. We're filming in my home in LA, so she's gonna make an appearance. But
Yes.
back to you.
Yeah. So I'm still learning
Yeah.
how to reconcile that part of me with like the little girl too. I think that's the reason why on my social media it's like I haven't posted like newer pictures. It's been like the baby with dad.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So and like looking at those pictures, like he really loved his kids, and I know that he wants to do more for us. And I feel like now on that side he has the freedom, but we just have to ask. That's the big thing that I've learned too with his death and reconnecting with my ancestors and things on that side. It's like they're just waiting for us to freaking ask. You just have to give them permission because they can't intervene in your life until you give them permission.
Yeah.
And so like one of the things that I kept hearing is like you just have to ask them to help you lift the burden. And as soon as I started saying that, immediately it's like I feel like I can breathe. Like it was just so instant. You
I
know?
love that. So in your religion, so I too, I mean, as you know, I went through my like connecting with the ancestors. And
Yeah.
I was like, you know, really seeking for that. And since rediscovering Jesus, I've been in a space of like, let the dead bury the dead. Like that they're dead, right?
Yeah.
And how in your religion, where do you all stand on ancestors and communing with ancestors?
Oh, we absolutely believe in them. Like we have specific nights that we pray for them. Like anytime I pick up and read the Quran, it's like I'm reading this for my ancestors to strengthen them because, like I said, the more that I can pray for them, I strengthen them so that they can pray for me. And their prayers in like our text are the most powerful prayers you can get
Yeah.
at all because you're doing the duty of remembering them and honoring their legacy and walking with their honor because I wouldn't be here if they hadn't done what they did.
No, that's true.
You know? So
Yeah.
it's like, how could I ever forget them?
Right.
Like, I can't. Like, I have to remember them. So even my grandparents, I never met them. Like, they died years before I was born.
Wow.
But
So you've never had the experience of having a grandparent?
no.
Wow.
No, both parents died. But what was so crazy is as a kid, there was Grandparents' Day at school, and for whatever reason, as a 5-year-old, I would pull chairs up for them.
Wow.
Like expecting them to, like, I mean, I knew that they weren't there, but I would pull chairs from as a kid. So like I always felt really connected to my grandparents without ever knowing them. But I think what helped strengthen that bond is the fact that, you know, my aunts and uncles share the stories of their parents. And so I'm able to carry those stories forward and like learn the lessons and learn their struggles and strives and never take that for granted.
Yeah.
And
that's
being able to
beautiful.
push that forward. Yes, it's like even when I'm talking to God, I'm talking to my grandparents, or now I'm talking to my dad, or, you know, it's keeping their honor alive because we have to. Because I don't know if you've seen the movie Coco, but like,
No, I said yes, but no.
you never seen it?
I don't even know what that is. Coco Melon?
No,
I don't know that.
it's a Disney movie. It's called Coco.
Oh.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything. I won't ruin it for you. Watch Coco.
Okay, I'm gonna watch
It
it.
is,
Is it black? Is she black? Why they call
Mexican.
her Coco? Okay.
yeah.
I was like,
It
I knew
is-
something with them was a little.
Yeah,
soft.
it's around like their day of death type of thing.
Okay.
It's one of the most beautiful Disney movies ever.
Better than Inside Out?
It's up there.
Okay.
It's definitely up there for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those you're gonna need tissues for sure,
Okay.
tearjerker type of vibes.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah, but you'll see what I'm saying when it's coming about like honoring your ancestors. It's really important you never forget them.
Yeah. And I thank you for that too, because very transparently I'm struggling in that area
Yeah.
because again, rediscovering Jesus. And so
Yeah.
it's like, do I turn that off? Right. And at what point do I say rest in your eternal place? Right. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so thank you for that. I want to talk about, go back to this idea of seclusion and isolation.
Yeah.
Because you shared that with you being in isolation, you began to develop anxiety. When did you make that realization, and what did isolation look like for you?
Yeah, so this time around, I feel like my anxiety is actually almost a service for me. I think it's God. It's putting me in that uncomfortable position to make the right decision.
Wow,
You know, so
that
it's-
is a perspective shift. Talk about the proper view. I have never said anxiety is God for me. I have said this is spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
This is from the enemy. Tell me more.
Yeah, so I've struggled with anxiety and panic attacks and things like that. And I've done that in isolation, like a long
Wow.
time ago, and it wrecked a lot of parts of my life. I look back, everything happens for a reason, right?
Yeah.
But in that moment, it was very detrimental to everything around me.
Yeah.
This time when it came up and it was way worse, it brought me to my knees in a way where it's like, I can either let this consume me, or I better get on my knees and pray to God right now.
Yeah.
And ask for that answer. And knowing that my dad also said, there are entities around you that want to help you.
Yeah.
You just have to ask. And we're so scared of asking for help. And it was asking for prayers to God, like, God guide me, help me. And then also suddenly, like you, how you got like this idea for this podcast, it also gave me the idea, like, you need to reach out to that person.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone and call them. They want to be your mentor. They want to talk to you.
Come on, Holy Spirit.
You
I
know?
mean, you wouldn't call him that,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm like. That's
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, no. It's like, so it's like, I would never think to call. Like, I've been so in that masculine energy where it's like, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm just going to fucking do it. I'm not going to ask for help for anybody. And now I'm like, I don't want to do it, you know, so I have to call. And like, I had a great conversation with one of my mentors yesterday, you know, or reaching out to like my acupuncture stuff. I'm like, I haven't seen this girl in 7 years. I'm like, guess who's coming back?
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm coming back. And like going into those like conversations really vulnerable, like,
Yeah.
dude, like, what I can't see in front of me, I need you to hold my hand and guide me, you know? And so my anxiety has really helped me. And it's kind of funny when anxiety happens because I feel like it pops up in a moment of big change in your life, if you see it that way. And one, like I said, with you,
Wow.
it's like jumping from corporate into something that actually is aligned with God's path.
It's scary.
It's scary. And knowing that, like, it's like almost like now or never.
Yeah.
And especially with my dad on the other side, like, girl, what you doing?
What you doing?
You know,
Yeah.
it's like I've been telling you that since I was there. Now I'm on the other side. Like,
You gonna
what's
do it or
up?
not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because it's like, again, it is my responsibility to carry a legacy that has been left for me
Wow.
and move it forward and make it even better and stronger for the next generation. Like, I'm cut from this family. Like, I
Yeah.
can't separate myself from this. Like, this is the path. This is the story, the encyclopedia that God put us in.
Yeah.
So I have to do my part to carry this.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't forget that. So it's what dad, yes, it sucks to have lost him, but at the same time, it's like, it's opened me up in ways, and I'm really grateful that I was open to opening up these ways.
Yeah.
And asking the questions and getting right with God and getting closer and calling on my ancestors. And like, even for my dad's birthday, it was like, all right, I know you're on the other side with the ancestors doing your thing, man. I know you're celebrating and having fun, and
Happy birthday.
happy birthday. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It really, it changed. I mean, you're not going to know it until you experience like what real death is. Because I've known tons of people have passed away.
Yeah.
But nothing competes to actually losing somebody as close as a parent or a sibling.
Yeah. Nothing.
That changes everything.
It changes your life.
It changes your life. And
Yeah.
then you also realize, like, I don't have to put up with this BS crap, dude.
No.
Why are we doing this
No.
to ourselves, you know? And it's like, and I've known in my life, too, it's like when I take leaps, it's like, I don't know if I'm going off a cliff or what the hell is going to happen. God's always going to show up.
Always.
Always.
Right there.
Always shows up.
Always been there.
Yeah, it's like, so it's like, how dare we give ourselves more power than God? Thinking that we know everything.
That part, that's called pride. And then you know what it says? Pride comes before the what? The fall.
Yeah.
Yes, that's so good. Because, and I'm so excited for you too, because what I do hear in your story is going from isolation to seclusion.
Yeah.
And right in the middle of that was a shift in perspective to say that this anxiety, right? We often say in the church, and then because also in the word, that what the enemy meant for evil, God meant for good, right? And so it's really you using what is really there to kind of keep you in a space as a vehicle to bring you to the feet of the Father.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that right there is the proper view.
Yes, girl.
That's it. And you talk about death, and I you know, the most beautiful experience with death I've had was the death of my grandmother. I had what I now know was a privilege, and it's actually what restarted my walk with Jesus.
Yeah.
Were you still at Ultras? She hired me at my job. So we didn't even talk about that.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
She hired me. There's
we
a
gotta
whole
talk
story about that. That's a whole
It's a great story.
Honey, we was drinking room smoothies in the interview. Okay.
Yes.
But I had to go home. Yes, because you that's my mama. You covered for me. So that I could go home to be, Yeah. So we're not drinking room smoothies, but I go home, my grandmother's dying. And I remember on the FaceTime, she said to me, Britny, this is going to be our last conversation. She was ready. She wanted them to put her in hospice, do what they needed to do so she can go.
Yeah.
And I just was like praying, even at that time, I was praying, I was like, let me just see her. Let me just see her. So she held on until I could get there. And I remember putting my hand on her head and I said, Grandma, I'm here. And I might be delusional. Okay, I might be. But I literally felt her head go like this into my hand. And it was slight. It was slight. But I felt like that was her acknowledging that I was there. And a few hours later that night, my grandma, they had put her in a catatonic state. So she wasn't talking. She wasn't making noise. But all of a sudden, I'm sitting there and I'm talking to my aunt and I'm talking to my niece. And she goes, I look at her, I say, you talking? Because I'm thinking it's a miracle.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. I told these people she wasn't dying.
Yeah.
And then a few seconds go by and I go, oh no, she's gone. She was gone. And I thought you was going to cry on this. I'm crying. Ended up being one of the biggest blessings of my life.
Aww.
Because I was able to see her peaceful transition.
Yeah.
Then I was able to stay with her because I wasn't leaving. That's one thing. I'm like you in that way. I'm the baby of the family, but back up, right?
Yeah.
I was not leaving her body there. So I waited for them to come get her. And the funeral director, because I waited to go get her, he saw that, I'm a warrior for my people.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
And he let me close her casket at the funeral. And what it taught me, I learned so much about our beginning by seeing her end.
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
It started with a breath, it ends with a breath. It's truly okay.
Yeah.
And we don't have to walk around with armor.
Yeah, that part. It's hard not to walk around with that armor when you just been like giving so many punches.
Yeah.
You know what
Punches
I'm saying?
of it all.
Because people that punch you, they did it in your most vulnerable times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they took advantage of your vulnerability.
Yeah.
How dare they?
How dare they?
You know, how dare they? And they took our strength away from our vulnerability. But then in that moment, you saw how powerful it is. And that's when you see God.
Yeah. How did you find yours?
Oh, gosh. Basically purged my entire circle.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was,
tell
it
us
was
about
just
that.
like, so, you know, in my 20s, I was a walking shell, man. It was a walking shell, just like get the paycheck, prove yourself type of thing, where I pushed aside who I really am. The essence of me was gone. And, you know, when you think about manifestation, you attract what you are. So, of course, I attracted other empty vessels,
Wow.
manipulators, like all those things that just were like opportunists and things like that.
Yeah.
And when I thought that they were my friends, you know, because when you have a mask on, you could change it. You
Yeah.
can make it look however you wanted to. I started to like think I could trust them and like be vulnerable with them and all those things.
Ooh.
And in those
Then the
moments,
vultures.
oh man, and in those moments, I would show my vulnerability and I'd get hurt. And it's like, this is why I don't show my vulnerability. This is why everyone's a douchebag until proven otherwise, type of thing,
Yeah.
you know. And you get.
And
very
where are
stoic.
you now with that, in that journey?
Circle's really small.
Yeah.
Circle's super
Do you
small.
still have the same view that like you're a douchebag until you prove otherwise to me?
Yeah, that's still
Yeah?
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That lesson's still there for sure. And I'm very, there's a lot of filters to like become my circle. And I think for me, it's a good thing because then it's like if you become my friend,
Wisdom. Yeah.
you're my friend.
You're my friend. You're
And
my
you
dog.
like, I mean, you see like the goofy sides and all those
Yeah.
things and like, you know, the more vulnerable sides. So that way it's like, I know I'm safe.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm not going to be judged by this person. I know this person has my back.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So it's like learning how to embrace my vulnerability with the right people
Yeah.
that hold that space. And also having discernment to be like, that person's not safe. They don't get the privilege to see my vulnerability.
That's perspective too. Seeing it as a privilege to have access.
Yeah.
Right? That's the
Yeah.
proper view right there.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, I told you with your recent situation, that guy does not have the freaking privilege to breathe the same air that you do. You know?
Yeah.
He saw how brilliant and bright you are.
Thank you.
He is none of those things. So he can't stand next to a woman like that. So what's he going to do? He breaks it.
Or tries to.
Or tries to.
Because here I'm sitting on the couch at the
Exactly.
top of
You're
you,
about to
baby.
rise, girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, no. And that also ties back into like knowing that, no, God didn't put me here to be abused by that.
No,
Like, I am too good for that. God
Yeah.
created me. I'm the vessel that God created.
that part.
I need to serve the purpose to a higher power. This minion over here? Oh, hell no. You know?
God bless him.
Yeah.
God bless these people that hurt us.
Yeah.
God bless these people. We have something fun here that we do.
Oh, gosh.
It's called, don't get nervous. It's okay.
Oh, gosh.
Now I need my notes. They know I need my notes.
Yeah.
It is called Healing in a Minute. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so the idea is, it's a lot like rapid fire
Oh, okay.
for the advisor journey.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you questions.
Okay.
The idea is we're going to get through all of these questions in just 1 minute. Can somebody keep us honest?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So it's 1 minute. When we get to the minute, go boom, 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 boom. Okay? Or whatever your heart desires. Okay? Because I know that was a little extra. All right, you ready?
Okay, yeah.
Dun, dun,
All right,
dun,
let's
dun,
do this.
dun. Okay, one word that describes grief with God.
Oh, my God. Surrender.
So, woo!
Yeah.
Okay, we only got a minute. What surprised you most about God's presence in your grief?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. How do you know when seclusion is helping you heal?
When you get chills.
You get chills. What keeps you connected when isolation tries to push you away?
Oh, back to prayer. Get on my knees and ask God. Be like, take the devil away.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Isolation brings us closer to God so that we learn seclusion.
Yeah.
I love that. One way grief has softened you instead of hardened you.
Oh,
I think he's saying bum, 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 bum.
forgiveness.
Oh, no, he's not. He's not.
Oh,
okay. One
forgiveness.
way grief has softened you instead of hardening you.
Forgiving myself.
Forgiving yourself. I want to talk about it. Okay, we can't. One thing you say to someone what is one thing you would say to someone who feels like they are pulling away and want to go into isolation right now?
What can I do to help you?
What can I
Yeah.
do to help you?
Yeah.
That's community. He
Yeah.
just gave me the bum, bum, bum. We did it.
Oh, we did it. See? Nailed
We
it.
did it.
We
Wow,
got
that
this.
is thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, Britney.
We have to have you back.
Yes, I am so freaking proud of you.
Thank
by the way,
you.
just like from our womb smoothies, when I saw you, I was like, oh, this girl. I'm like, I gotta help pull her out of her shell.
Yes.
You know,
Because you saw me in my shame identity. That's how you met me.
Ooh, your shame identity.
Yeah, in the first episode of this, I talk about like that's how I lived my life. I lived it small. I lived it scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in shame.
That's why I would push you. I'm like, no, I'm gonna let her
Like,
take up
do
space.
it.
Do it.
Yeah.
You know, like people would say something. I'm like, nope, she's doing it.
Yep.
I need her to take up the room because I could see the light in you.
Yeah.
And now look what you're doing,
Look
man.
at
You're
me.
inspiring me. I'm like, all right, I gotta figure myself out.
Thank you, girl.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you all for joining us. And for those of you who are in grief, know that you're not alone. How can we help you? I encourage you to find seclusion, which we know is directly tied to community. It's directly tied to being at the feet of the Father. And resist going into isolation. I know it feels like it's easier to go into isolation, but the price is higher. I love you, and I really hope that this time with Shabana helped to bring you closer to the proper view. Shabana, before we go, can you spell your TikTok and your Instagram for folks?
Yes, TikTok is styled by Shabs, Shabs, and then my Instagram is just Shabs24.
Yes, and we'll have it linked below. We'll also have a link to her book, her journal, which has really helped me in my walk, in the description as well. Thank y'all, and we'll see you next week, y'all.